Hey guys, it's Talia and welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be sharing my 5 top tips of each, so 10 top tips on staying organized and productive. So let's get into the video. I'm not coming here to tell you how much of an expert I am on organization and productivity, because I'm not. But I recently haven't been feeling myself and I haven't been feeling organized and productive. So I really initially just wanted to remind myself of how I used to do things, or things that resonate mostly with me in terms of organization and productivity. These are my favorite tips that helped me. I think they actually work, and they're small implementations that you can use to be more organized and productive. So let's get to it. All right, so 5 top tips for staying organized. My first one is my ride or die. I actually still do this one and have been doing this one forever, and it's to have a daily to-do list. Very simple, very easy, but so effective, like incredibly effective when it comes to staying organized. I cannot, for the life of me, hold tasks, like multiple tasks in my head all day and think, oh, I've got to do that, I've got to do that, I've done that, next one. No, like I absolutely have to write it down. I do prefer writing down a task list so I can tick it off and cross off. I'm definitely a writer, but I do also have a to-do list on my phone just using the reminders app, and I have a widget that is attached to my phone that basically stays there with all the apps, and then I just open it, write all the things that I need to do that day, and then I can easily check them off. So that's sort of what I've been using post work life. But prior to that, when I was working, I would always have a written to-do list of the tasks that I needed to do that day, including the tasks that I needed to do at home and outside of work as well. So that's a must, top of the list, number 1. Point. So this one helps me stay organized, but it also keeps me a little bit productive as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand with both of them. And that one is to have block out focus times within your calendar to get shit done. So basically what you do is you say, oh, in my calendar from 10 till 12, I'm gonna be doing these important tasks. And during that time, like it's a full out block out zone. So nobody should be distracting you in that time. If you are in an office environment, you can let everyone know, please no distractions for the next 2 hours while I get this important work done. If you have any questions, please leave them till 12 o'clock. So basically, no distractions, no phone calls, no picking up the phone for social media, no like gallivanting off track, and it keeps your calendar really organized, and it also does give you bursts of productivity as well. Number 3, we've all got to have a budget. Now, this is important for organization because having your finances in order is actually quite a huge part of your life. You do need to earn money, you do need to pay bills, you do need, like, basically money just surrounds us as human beings. So having that completely organized and having a budget that you revisit every single time you get paid. Obviously, if you get paid weekly, you revisit your budget weekly. If you get paid fortnightly, guess what? You're revisiting it every fortnight. So number 4 is to declutter your phone every 6 months. I love doing these phone cleanses. They not only optimize the performance of your phone, but they also just keep your mind decluttered, and you can usually find things easier. You can usually delete a lot of things that you don't use anymore off your phone. I love doing a phone declutter. Definitely helps with organization, so do it. I go through all my photos, I go through all my apps, I go through all my text messages, I go through all my notes and reminders just to make sure that everything there is relevant, makes sense to me, and is there for a purpose. and I basically delete all the things that I don't use anymore. I check the apps that you can see which apps you use the most and which apps you use the least. There's a lot of apps that just automatically come with the iPhone that I ended up deleting because I don't use them, and I only have the most relevant apps on my phone at any one time. Doing this about every 6 months just keeps it nice and clean, but obviously it's not much of a chore if you're doing it as if you're doing it monthly, etc. So every 6 months for that. So tip number 5, the last one, is to meal plan every week. I do this religiously. So we do weekly food shopping. So at the top of my shopping list, I write the days of the week, and then basically to start my shopping list off, I think of dinners that correlate to each of those days. I then get those dinners, move them into what I actually need for them in the shopping list. I then also think of breakfasts and lunches, so it's all planned and ready the week prior. I don't need to think about food during the day. So I just love not having to think about it because it's a pain and it takes a lot of time in your day thinking about what you want to eat. So having that all planned out, it just keeps me more organized. I can focus my brain on more other important things as opposed to deciding what to eat. So that is my 5 top tips for organization, and now we're moving on to productivity. My first tip for productivity is to declutter your workspace or home. It just frees your mind to be more productive. Tip number 2 is work to your productivity type. This one's important because everybody's different. I personally am my most focused in the morning, and towards the afternoon I start to get really tired and So for me, I would do all of my most important tasks at the start of the day and all of my really hard, like my hardest tasks at the start of the day, and then leave all my easy ones for the afternoon. So this is working towards my productivity type, so I am most productive throughout the day completely. Some people are the complete opposite, where they're really tired in the mornings, they don't like to do anything in the mornings, they don't get things done, they don't get things done to the best of their ability in the mornings, and they are more productive towards the afternoon or even nighttime. The best thing for them would be to work in the afternoons and evenings on their hardest tasks and their most important tasks. Work smarter, not harder. Tip number 3 is to set time-bound challenges and have a progress tracker sheet. All of the organization queens and kings out there would absolutely love this one. Not only are challenges great, especially when you're doing a challenge with a workmate or a friend or a family member, but you can do them on your own as well and have a progress tracker that you can constantly look to and progress, you know. It's just, for productivity, it works really well for those people that love being organized and love like the visualization of ticking off a task once it's completed. Stick it somewhere where you see it every single day and you work towards that challenge. That will make you a little bit more productive, especially if it's on something that you're not thrilled about doing. If you have that there, it almost makes it a little bit more exciting for you to complete. Number 4 is super important, and it's to work to your passions and goals. Obviously, it's really difficult to be productive when you're working on things that you're not passionate about. That's just how it is. Once people are no longer passionate about a particular thing, they don't want to do it anymore, and it makes it so much harder to complete the tasks. Make sure that you do have goals, you do have passions, and you are working towards them. What you're doing is working towards them. Now, not everybody has, I would say, the privilege or luxury of working on their passions. Maybe not at this particular time in their life. Maybe that's something they have passions and goals that they're working towards in the future, but it's not viable for them to do it right now. And for them, I would definitely recommend working towards something that makes you happy. And also, this could just be in everyone's daily life. There are obviously tasks that you have to do in your life that you don't love. They're not passions, but they're tasks that you have to do. If you're finding it really difficult to complete certain tasks, maybe it's a work task, a work project that you're working on that you're no longer passionate about and it's really difficult for you, then you should have a small reward at the end of that task once it completes. So you're working towards something for yourself or something that you do actually like. So having that also might help you stay productive and on track to completing that task. This also goes with my final productivity tip, and it is to remember the 80-20 rule. This one does tie in with the previous one, and it's to not overwhelm or overload yourself with so many tasks that you don't want to do anything. So the 80-20 rule comes in where you're doing 80% of your productivity tasks that you need to get done, and then 20% reward, whether that's a short break, a walk around the block, a nice lunch. If you're doing 100% tasks, 100% of the time, you're going to get burnt out and you're not going to enjoy your life at all. It's always good to have small rewards along the way, even if they are very small, like a nice cup of tea or a walk around the block or some fresh air, some sunshine, whatever it may be. So I really hope you enjoyed those 10 tips, as I mentioned, 5 on organization and 5 on productivity. Hopefully that enlightens your entire life and now you're an extremely organized and productive human being and you can go and take on the world. Have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.